Warren Huntly here with a look at Flemington track work leading into Orr Stakes Day, with Group 1 racing returning to Caulfield this Saturday as part of the Melbourne Festival of Racing. And we'll start with the Orr Stakes, where really Flemington trained horses are probably going to be up against some more favoured runners, but the Patnack horse Trusting's been back from Perth, and although he had a busy spring, he seems to have coped with that really well. He's probably the sharpest of the Flemington trained runners heading into the Orr Stakes on Saturday, and it'd be no surprise to see him when he's worked very strongly a couple of times recently. He's had the benefit of some jump outs, and he's certainly forward enough, and he has got a lot of residual fitness going through from his spring campaign where he did race in Perth, Sydney and Melbourne, so he's certainly got a lot of residual fitness. He looks great. I suppose only as he runs on through this campaign we'll see whether that travelling and racing during the spring took a bit out of him, but on face value he looks terrific, and he probably looks as good a chance as we've got from Flemington leading into the Orr Stakes. A couple of really interesting middle distance stayers resuming in precedence from the Coming Stable and Shocking. They're going really well. I think they'll be better suited when they get to races like the St George and the Australian Cup, but gee, they seem to have come up well. They've had a couple of jump outs, and they actually had a jump out here a few weeks ago where they were very close together. They settled back, they moved to the outside and worked home really strongly. That's what you'd expect from stayers, but they're in great order. If they go mad up front in the Orr Stakes, then I'm sure that Precedence and Shocking are forwarded enough and going well enough to be strong late. But leaning towards Trusting is probably the best winning chance in that race out of Flemington trained horses. We move on to more heats of the Blue Diamond, the preludes this week. Really, I think Sepoy stamps himself as a clear standout of the Flemington trained horses there. It'll be interesting to see both the Colts and Fillies division, but Sepoy, the Darley horse, has really trained on well since his dominant win in the preview. He's going to be short odds on Saturday, but he'll probably stamp himself as a deserved favourite for the Blue Diamond. With 2-year-olds, you never know when they're going to reach the end of their campaign, but he looks to have trained on really well. He's only had that one run back this time in, so there still looks to be some petrol in the tank. His work's been great and he looks fantastic. So if you're thinking about taking short odds, Sepoy looks like he's going to go to the races and probably win. We go to a sprint race, the Rubiton Stakes, which a number of horses were down to run last week in the Caulfield meeting that was abandoned due to the weather, and this race wasn't carried over to Wednesday. But Eagle Falls, the David Hayes trained runner, was ready to run on Saturday over 1,000 metres, and he steps up to 1,100. He's a high quality sprinter and he's in great order. He's worked very well in the couple of weeks that he's been here. He did a lot of preliminary work at Lindsay Park, but he's in great order, and I would expect Eagle Falls to run well. And the Kavanagh trained Catapulted has come back really well too. He's another high-class sprinter who's been working really well, and I would think out of those two, I would find it difficult to split them. I would think Catapulted will be on the pace, making his own luck, and if it favours horses on the speed at Caulfield on Saturday, I think Catapulted will be the pick. But if they are getting home down the middle of the track, I think that's where you'll see Eagle Falls, and I think he'll be very strong late. So summing up, I would think that of the horses from Caulfield, Sepoy, probably no prizes for picking him. He's going to be a short price favourite, but I'd expect him to win. I think Trusting can run well in the Orr Stakes, and I'd expect to see strong finishing runs from Precedence and Shocking. And I think Eagle Falls and Catapulted can both be really competitive in the Rubiton Stakes.